Okay, in this video what we're going to do is look at some of the other requirements and little things that you have to do to your character mesh when using the UT code. Now, I do keep on harping on about the fact that I use the UT code. If you don't use it, then some of these things are not going to be applicable to you, but it's still an idea to have a look and watch what I'm doing, because you can adapt these principles to your own system. Okay, so right, what do we need to do? The last video I mentioned all about setting up your materials. Now, for the life of me, because it's a while ago since I've done it, I can't remember whether I used GeoGuy or GeoBodge. Not that it matters, because it's all the same thing. It's still a character mesh. As you can see here, I've already got the materials applied. Now, if you look here in the skeleton tree on the left hand side, you will see I'm using the full, UT3 UDK rig. Very important. I mentioned this before, and I'm not going to keep on repeating myself. If you're not too sure why, then watch some of the other videos and you'll be fine. But the main thing is, if you want to use the UT game animations, if I quickly go on here and show you the K anim human base male, 124 animations. You got things like, let's see if I need to make this a little bit smaller so we can get the bottom of it. There we go. Oh, there we go. Have a look at the taunts. Yeah, come on. Okay. If you want to use these animations to start off with, then you've got to use the epic rig, as we keep on the forums keep on calling it. Okay, let's try and move on here and not drag this out too much. Now, I'm just going to do the basics, so I'm not going to bother with soft body, cloth advance, or cloth. We're just going to be looking at the skeletal mesh. Now, let's just make this a little bit bigger so you might be able to see it a bit better. Right, now in the mesh properties, click skeleton mesh. That opens this up. Not really bothered with the bounds at the moment or the clothing assets. We're on about the materials. Now, as you can see, material instant constant, 0 being the head region and all the add-on bits, and 1 being the body. The reason for this is that while we were still using UT3, you'd find that the team materials would all be on the body material and not the head. Okay, so that when it comes to playing a team game, they'd only change just the material in slot 1. Okay, so we've got our materials applied there, as you can see, going purple or bluish. There you can see where you actually see where the materials are applied. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing for some people, and here's me clicking on things. Right, now when you import your character, it will come so that the origin, which is down here, will be at 000. Now, with the UT code, UT game code, you need to reset this for the origin on the Z, or Z, I should say, I'm not an American, on Z to -51. Because if you don't, you'll find him floating up in the air. Next one is the rotation origin. Now, if you're running in the right direction, but your mesh is facing the wrong direction, it's more than likely you forgot to change the yaw to -90. Yeah, it's very simple little things that people forget. Yeah, and they'll go into the game and they go, "Oh, it's all wrong." Well, this is where you change it. Now we can depending on your scales or your meshes, you might have to change this, or you can, I'll show you later on, well, not this video, but in a later video, how you can change the actual not so much the height, but the position, because this is pretty much the basic setup, yeah, and then in code then you can adjust it as and when necessary without your coder having to go in and play about with this stuff, because they don't like it. Right, what else have we got here? I mentioned the yaw. One of the things, you got these things, skeleton mirror tables, mirror axis. I've never touched them, so like I say, it's just basic setup. Now here's something that you will be required to sort out. Now I haven't done this yet because, as you can see, well, what am I on about? LOD info, which is the level of detail. Yeah. Alright, what we'll do, just so you can see this. Alright, well, let's go get one of the where is it? Characters, corrupt mail. I'll find it. It's a bit awkward working. There we go. Now, if we just get, this is everybody's favourite. We all know Capold, or whatever his name is. This is one of the when you start playing with UDK, this will be the basic mesh that comes with it and that you get to play with. Now, yet again, let's being a bit laggy here. Come on, let's open this up a bit and drag that up a bit. And if we go into skeletal mesh, you will see on the level of info, level of detail info, LOD info. Now don't get this mixed up with the LOD on the materials. Same principles, that's why it's got the same name. The further away you get, the smaller it gets. Now on your materials, it'll do that. UDK will do it automatically. But on your meshes, at the moment, it doesn't. There's probably very good reasons for that, because otherwise it'd probably look like crap. But anyway, now as you can see here, if we're looking in this window here above the mesh, alright, you got LOD 0 equating to that one. We got 52 bones, 15,200 polys, that probably means triangles, and display factor of 1.2. Now if I slowly, no, wrong one. If I slowly, there we go, it popped. See it pop? No. If you look at the top, you can't see so much on the mesh. A little bit. You can see that at a display factor of, well, at the moment we're at 76. It's jumped down to just under 7,000 polys and 44 bones. Now if we keep on going, it's pop, there we go, it's around 33, 35, it goes down to 32 bones and just over 3,000 polys. And keep going, there we go, level of detail but level 3. We're now down to just over 1,000 polys, and you know, from this distance you're not really going to see the difference, are you? And that's what it's all about, saving power on your computer. Okay, now I haven't done any other videos on this in the 3D program. We might do some in the future, but we'll just have to see how that goes, because UDK is updating lots and lots at the moment, and I'm not too sure whether the new Simply Gone section or tool will actually be useful for characters. Now, they've updated it for skeletal meshes, but whether that applies for characters as well, not too sure. We'll have to wait out on that and do a bit more research. But pretty much, this is where you set them. Now, obviously, you're going to have to work out how to, well, it says import mesh LOD. Does that mean something? Well, I'll take a very initial guess, because I'll be honest, I haven't done this, and all you do is export your skeletal mesh as an LOD, and actually put it down as, name it as an LOD, same name as your mesh with a LOD extension on there, or suffix, if you use a prefix, suffix, yeah. Export it as a PSK, or as they're now doing, FBX, and then import it as a name and as a section. But like I say, once I actually get this all in and done, we'll go into it a bit more. There's just a heads up for you to actually see. I mean, you can see the display settings here, 80, well, 0.8, 0.35, 0.2, and you just go in there. Now, why it's called LOD hysteresis, can't even pronounce it. And then you got your other things. What all this lot do? Good question. And I'm not even going to go digging into that at the moment. Okay, now we'll just leave this. Let's zoom back in here. Come on, pop up. Excuse me, because we're going to need this in a very short moment. What else do we need to do? Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay. Now, what else do we need to do to our characters now that I've been burbling on about LODs for ages? Right. The next thing we have to do, and another thing that people do forget, is your sockets. Now, if you look here, socket manager. Okay. Now, is it on mesh? You can auto. No, I don't want to go there at the moment. I'm sure there was. There we go. Socket manager. Now, I've already got these in. Dual weapon point. Well, let's get this guy back to its the base pose, because that's being a bit awkward. Come on. As you can tell, there's a lot of anims in there. There we go. Basic male. There we go. See that a little bit better. Now, as you can see here, we got the dual weapon point, headshot gore socket, LJB, RJB down there at the feet. You can see where the which bones they're attached to. Weapon point. Now, quite important with these things if you're using the UT code, because weapon point, that is where the code actually attaches your weapon to for your bots, e.g. in third person. Now, if you've got a dual weapon, you're going to have to dig in the UT3 code to find stuff for that, information for that, but that's the other dual weapon point. Obviously, headshot gore, blow somebody's head off, that's where all the blood emitter comes from. Now, what's this RJB and LJB? Well, it might seem quite obvious once I tell you, but if you're not too sure, it's right jump boot, left jump boot. This is not to put your jump boot meshes onto it, it's to attach the emitter effects. So when you jump, or you do your double jump, everybody can see the effect that comes out of your boots. Okay, now if you don't put these sockets in there, what will happen is that you will not get your weapon attaching to the right hand, it will go somewhere on the root bone or somewhere in the middle, and it will look extremely silly, and you'll be like, what have I done wrong? Sockets. Okay, where do we get these sockets from? Well, like I just mentioned, if you go in here, see our cool guy, that's Socket Manager, he's got them, and all you do is copy sockets, close that off, go in there and paste sockets. Yeah, already exists, and all. Okay, that's it for that. Nice and easy. Okay, so that's the basic setup. That's not him. Let's get back to my guy. That's the basic setup for your actual meshes. Okay, and in the next video, I'm just going to do a very short one on a little trick for the physics assets, which is already shown on one of the videos from UDK website from the Epic guys, but I'll just want to reiterate it on this. So I'll see you in that in a minute. Okay, bye bye. Come on.